Hello everyone, it's JP.
And Floz.
And we're here with a Learn to Play Kings of War for Florina's benefit. So she is interested in kicking my ass in Kings of War, and so I'm going to show her how she can do so with this easy battle today. Now, just as a disclaimer, our channel here is quite eclectic. We have both our hobbies. We have my interest in miniature wargaming and Florina's interest in stitching. And so, if you don't mind having one or both of those in your newsfeed, then please like and subscribe so that you can get more of these videos as they come along. I would love to do more battle reports, as I know lots of people would be eager to see them, but unfortunately we're still stuck in lockdown. But I do have one captive player in my house, which is Florina, and she has kindly decided to try and learn this game.
Yes, very kind.
Very, very kind indeed. So if you're interested in finding out more about Kings of War, if you're new, or if you just want to see someone stumble in teaching and probably learn too quick, then watch on and see how we go. So setting the scene for all of you watching, what's going on here? We have two armies. They are both forces of the Abyss because these are my main army and they are my painted army. So I don't want to have to put through my viewers an unpainted army, at least while I still can. So we have two forces, identical, facing off against each other across the battlefield. What we have here are an Abyssal Champion in the center, surrounded by some tortured souls on his left. On his right, a troop of Flamebearers. And then behind those, a regiment of Abyssal Guard. And unsurprisingly, we have exactly the same thing. We have my model that is normally in a fleet, being the Abyssal Champion today, and Flamebearers on the hill, Abyssal Guard marching through a river, which has no effect today, and some tortured souls sitting in a forest. So, with our identical forces, hopefully, learning this game will be a little bit easier. But it also means everything is quite balanced and that the rules are replicated on both sides. So that's my approach to trying to teach this. So in Kings of War, we have three phases of the game. We have the movement phase, where everything's going to be moving up. Then we have the ranged phase, where spells and ranged attacks can be done. And then finally we have the melee phase, for anyone that is actually in combat. So to start the game, Florina, grab what was referred to as a D6. So these are D6. You might be familiar with, just a normal D6. We've got some weird D6s here, but we'll just go with the one. So let's roll off to see who gets to go first. Wow, abysmal rolls.
If you don't know, I am infamous for rolling the worst kind of dice rolls. So
yeah, but I won with a 2 somehow. So, I'll be going first, and then as I go through it and move my troops, I'll be introducing what each thing does. Now, every unit has a speed stat. Okay, so in the movement phase, really all that matters is your speed stat, and then maybe some special rules that help you move through different things. So, we will start with the simplest unit for moving, and that would be my Flamebearers here. Okay, so they have a speed stat of 5, speed 5, which means they can move 5 inches. So the movement options you have available to you are essentially advance, which means just moving forwards with one pivot of 90 degrees. So for instance, moving forward 5, my Flamebearers could go straight forward 5, like so. Or they could go 2.5, turn, and then 2.5 in another direction.
So they can only turn once?
They can only turn once. The regular, normal...
Up to 90 degrees?
Yeah, exactly. So I can do here and do up to that to go sideways.
Okay.
But you can't do a whole 180 with your standard unit.
Okay.
But for now, since all I want to do is get close enough to start shooting you, I'll move the full way up into this forest. Now, other movements that you could do, so for instance, with my Abyssal Guard back here, you can also move backwards and sideways. But since you're trying to move a whole unit sideways or backwards, it actually takes quite a bit of coordination, so you can only move half your speed stat. So that would be 2.5. So if I move that here, 2.5 is there. So if I wanted to move them sideways for some reason, that's what I would do. They move sideways like that.
So they move less because it's a bigger unit?
They move less just because I'm moving them in different directions. So you can move straight forward at full speed, or you can shuffle sideways, shuffle backwards, depending on your situation. Not very often you'll be doing those kinds of movements compared to a standard going forward like this. So I'll do the same. These guys will be following a full 5 inches. Now, if you're feeling pretty speedy, like I will with these, they can move, you can move double. So that's called at the double. So imagine you're marching along really fast.
That's related to units.
Well, everyone can do it, but I didn't want to do it with these guys, but I can do it with these.
Okay.
Alright? So, for instance, if I wanted to move at the double with my Flamebearers, it would be at the double. So I'd get to move 10 inches in total, but then I don't get to pivot. Because you just got to go straight forward. You're marching non-stop, right?
Okay.
So let's say I want to do that with this guy. You see this little champion dude here? I could go at the double with my Abyssal Champion like so. Like that.
So one pivot means you're sacrificing 5 inches of movement.
But it doesn't really mean that. It means if you're just moving in advance, you get to pivot anywhere you like. If you want to go 10, you don't get to pivot at all.
Okay.
It'll make more sense when you get to try it yourself. But so both my units, I didn't decide to pivot, but with this one, I might. So these guys have speed 8. So much faster. So I can move them up like this. And at the end of it, maybe I want to pivot. So I'm facing that way. Now how you pivot is on the center point. So try not to pivot like this. Like that. See, I'm pivoting like a door swinging. You want to hold it in the middle and pivot around. It's an inexact science because we are moving in miniatures with our hands, but generally that's how you want to do it. And I turned it about 45 degrees.
So for that particular unit that has movement of 8, if you don't want to pivot, does it mean it can double the 8?
I could go 16 if I wanted to go at the double with them, but then they would be facing straight forward.
Okay, yep.
Now there are some special rules for guys like him. Since he's not a unit, he's by himself, right? Mm-hmm. So he's an individual.
So he's a hero?
He's a hero. Okay. That's his class. And as a hero, he is an individual unit. Sometimes you have heroes that are on bigger things and they're not individual. But since he's individual, what that means is he gets 2 pivots in his normal move. So if I wanted to go like, for whatever reason, maybe I want to go turn, go 3 inches, and then turn, and then go 2 inches, I can. Mm-hmm. Right? Same as he could go straight forwards a whole 10 and still get a pivot in there. So he doesn't get, he has...
So everything doubles with him.
Everything doubles with him. Yeah, exactly. So he is he's what's referred to as an individual unit, but some other units can have that, and it's called nimble, where they get extra pivots. And it's really valuable.
So that's an extra ability?
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's got individual, but some units will have what's called nimble when they're not individuals. Because not every... like, for instance, this could be nimble. It isn't.
Nimble means agile?
Yeah, it means agile. It means light on your feet. Or in this case, they don't have feet. They're spirits. But in this case, I'll be just moving 5 to keep up with my units. Generally, you don't want things getting too far ahead because I know you have some shooting and you might shoot me. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll point out the reason why all these units have been moving just 5. And that would be this forest underneath. So, obviously, things like a forest or this bog over here, they're what's called difficult terrain. You know, you can't just walk through them easily. You kind of got to move between the trees, not fall in puddles. You have to slow down a little bit. And while that doesn't actually slow you down, it means you just can't go at the double. So I physically cannot go at the double through that forest.
Okay.
Sucks, but there's bonuses to being in a forest.
More coverage, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can't shoot me so easy.
Yeah.
So that's the bonus there. So now I've completed my movement. Everything's moved. No charges, which I guess we'll have to learn about when we get a bit closer to each other. But that's movement done right there. So I've got my faster units that have moved up, and I've got my slower units just marching up slowly into the forest. Mm-hmm. Now we're in the ranged phase, and I have only one unit that has ranged attacks, and that will be the Flamebearers right here. So these guys. So first, I have to check if they're actually in range of anything. So they can throw their fireballs or firebolts 18 inches. So that's this is anything in range of 18 inches. And I believe I'm just out because they should be. So nothing is in range of 18 inches.
Because that unit is on the hill, so you can't really reach it, can you?
No, they're 1 inch out of range. So if I put the 18 inches on the ground, so we can see right from here, can't shoot. Right, so it doesn't quite reach 1 inch off, which it should be. Technically, we should start in a distance from each other that I wouldn't be able to shoot you straight away. Mm-hmm. And that is the ranged phase. And then there's no close combat, no melee, because nothing's in close combat. So that's the end of my turn. Now it's Florina's turn. Okay, Florina. You have your 4 units to move. It's your movement phase. What would you like to do? So there's a few things I'll let you know. Obviously, we've got these guys that can fly.
Yeah.
So that means they can move over things like these impassable terrain, right? They can go right over it as long as they finish on the other side. They can't end on top of it. Mm-hmm. What we also have is this hill. So a hill gives you an advantage, obviously, because you're a bit higher. Mm-hmm. Every unit here...
When you say advantage, you mean shooting?
Yes.
Advantage?
Okay. Being able to see is the real advantage.
Okay.
Because every unit here has a height associated with it. They have a height value. So, actually, all the units here, I'm pretty sure, even the Tortured Souls... Yes, even the Tortured Souls are height 2. Height 2 is your normal human's height, right? So, and all your stuff is height 2. But then if we had some monsters, they'd be height 5. This building, for instance, is height 6. Mm-hmm. So is this one, which doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Even though it's kind of missing at the top of the building, it's still height 6. So that means if my units were hiding behind this, you wouldn't be able to shoot them at all. Mm-hmm. These hills are height 3. What that means is when you're standing on them, you add that to your normal height. So now your guys are height 5.
Okay.
Exactly. So now they can actually see my Abyssal Guard behind. Mm-hmm. Because if they're on the ground, they wouldn't be able to see through them. Because they'd see height 2 to height 2, mm-hmm. and then they would stop. They wouldn't be able to see behind. Mm-hmm. But by being on height 5, you get to look over all height 2 things. Or up to height 4 things. Because you're on that hill.
Okay.
But obviously the problem is right now, if you stay on that hill, you won't be in range of my stuff. If you want to move up.
Yeah.
But what do you think you might be in range of? If not that force... Yeah, probably my Tortured Souls. Maybe I moved them up too closely, or maybe I wanted you to shoot them. Or maybe I want to be able to charge you. But we'll see.
But if my units on a hill, are there any restrictions to their movement?
No, none at all. You can move as much as you like. The hill really just means if you're on top of it, you can see better. And then if you're on either side of it, it might stop you from being able to see past it. Like a hill normally does. One interesting thing is if you charge down from a hill, so if you're standing on it and then you charge an enemy from there, you'll get a bonus to combat. To show the fact that you've got more momentum as you crash into your opponents.
Charge. So that's double?
Yes, a charge is a double. So you double your movement. Right now, it's probably unlikely that any of your units are within range of double, but you could check. You could measure it and see if anyone's within 10, or in the case of your Tortured Souls, 16, but probably not. So what you'll be doing now is moving your units with the hope that next turn you'll get charges. And at the same time, try not to get charged. The whole game revolves around in the early turns.
So are all these things with a shooting range of 18?
Only these guys have shooting. The guys with the fireballs. The rest are here for chopping. They're just close combat. Yeah, they only have a close combat attack.
Right.
So the only one you have to worry about shooting with is this one.
Okay.
So, maybe see how far away those Tortured Souls are. How long can I charge you with them?
Wait, you normally put it down, don't you?
No, you don't have to put it down. You can just hold it briefly. So what are you measuring here?
Well, because if this guy can shoot, that guy can shoot as well, right?
No, these guys can't shoot.
Oh.
right now in this army, I haven't. You can make him shoot, but really it's just the Flamebearers. Sorry. So only the Flamebearers have the ability to shoot in this game.
Okay.
So 18 inches. I can't shoot you. You can't shoot me with Flamebearers. But how close are the Tortured Souls to your Flamebearers?
Nah, not quite. I think not quite.
No. So the way you would measure, closest to closest, like that. So.
Oh, in range, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm in range of charging you. So what you could do,
Right.
if you're scared of me charging you, those guys can move backwards. They're 2.5. Remember I told you they
But can I? Oh, so movement phase always comes before combat phase?
Movement first, ranged, and then combat. By moving, usually you get a -1 to shooting with, which you'll find. But lucky, Flamebearers do not suffer -1. They're very good at moving and shooting. So you can move them backwards if you wanted to get out of range of my Tortured Souls and then still be able to shoot them. Because right now my Tortured Souls are 15.5 inches away. If you move back 2 inches, you'll be 17.5 inches away, which means you can shoot me, but I can't charge you. Which would be the ideal situation, right?
I don't quite get this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say charge, you mean it's after...
No, charging happens in movement. So in my turn 2, let's say we go to the next turn, these guys will come bang in here, right? Mm-hmm. If these stay where they are.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want that to happen, probably the best idea is to move them backwards. So in the movement phase is when you say you're going to do some charges. And then in the melee phase is when you figure out how much damage happens.
Oh yeah, so 16, 18. Oh, okay.
So you can be in range of me, but I won't be in range of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably get you the turn after,
Mm-hmm.
but for now you could get 1 round of being able to do some damage. Probably not kill me, but at least make it a bit weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Okay.
So if you move those guys back just 2 inches, 2.5, and you might accidentally get out of range of your own attacks. And you move them directly back. No pivoting, no fancy stuff.
So do you measure from...
From point to point. So whichever point you're measuring from the back, you move it 2 inches to the back again. So you don't want to do back to front, because you might get extra movement. Yeah, so you move it there, check if you're still in range of my Tortured Souls, because you don't want to find out in the ranged phase.
16, right?
18. For your shooting.
Oh.
We know now you shouldn't be in range of charging, but are you still in range of the shooting? So go from the
Middle?
closest point. No, just the closest. Doesn't have to be the middle. So the very corner to my corner. Oh, yeah. Watch out for the fancy bits. I think you're
Just, maybe.
just in. We'll probably nudge them just a teensy bit forward, like that, and that we will be sure that they're in. So you're just a hair. But there you go. You've done your backwards movement, and they're ready to go. Now, the rest of the army, what will they be setting up? So, for instance, as I'm marching in, you might want to try and put pressure on the sides. Yeah, you can see how far I can charge. So if you move up to there, you know you'll get hit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you want to. This unit is a pretty solid unit, right? There's a lot of guys there.
Okay.
Whereas that's a pretty small unit. So chances are if you put that unit here, you move it up, you pivot to face the enemy, I probably can't kill you in 1 turn.
But then, they can't get to me because even if you charge it's 10, isn't it?
Yes. They're going to take a while.
And what's this guy again?
He's the Abyssal Champion and also moves 5.
But a lot of pivoting.
Well, yeah, he can get around.
Right.
But he's just not... Generally, individuals are not that strong. He has a couple of attacks, but usually much less than a whole unit such as this. Makes sense. He's just one dude.
Mm-hmm. Are there any regulations regarding which unit can move first?
No.
Okay.
It's up to you to figure out what is tactically advantageous to move first. But I think there's a few moves So you could move up, which is what's called baiting, right?
So move up just out.
Or you can move just out, which will annoy me. And that means I won't charge you. Or you can move just in if you want to bring me in and into a kind of a trap, right? So for instance, what you could do, these guys could move up to here. So the Abyssal Guard can move there to be just in range of a charge, but only from my Tortured Souls, not the rest of the army.
5?
Yeah. Just 5, 4, whatever gets them up.
How do you measure this thing?
Well, it's easier when you're standing up and looking down on top of them. I know you didn't want to stand up. So you can plonk that down next to it there and just shuffle up. So you can go up 4, 5.
Wow, solid.
Yeah, solid plastic. Yep. And then what you would want to do is pivot, because I'll introduce now, if you remember I talked about it before, flanks. Right? So if you look at it like that, I'm probably not in your flank, but I might
That'll be a 45 or something.
Yeah, or you just pivot just enough so you're looking at both the units. You want to look at my main force and my Tortured Souls.
That's enough, right?
Yes, that's perfect. So that way you know 100% I'm not going to surprise you. Because what happens when you get a flank is you get double attacks. And if I get your bum, triple attacks.
Okay.
So now you've set up some bait where I'll charge in, and you're going to shoot me first. So first you're going to...
But I haven't moved these people.
Yeah, exactly. But what could they do? You imagine, I'm going to charge in here. My unit will be here. Unless I do something fantastic, I probably won't kill these guys straight away. Right? So what you could do is set these guys up here, looking that way, ready to attack.
Oh, so like flanking? You mean?
Yeah, or just pivot, just sitting there. And maybe you will attack, or maybe you'll jump over here. You could do both. These guys fly. They can go anywhere. So if those guys move up 8, because you need... Yeah, you're getting the hang of it. If you move 16, you'll get much further, but then you'll be facing the wrong way.
Oh, I think just on it.
That's okay. You don't have to be on the hill. So if you go up to just at the base of the hill,
But
cool.
then if you pivot, you can't pivot.
Yeah, you can pivot. It's just going to be awkward because now you're on a hill. So you grab it in the middle, pick it up, and then turn it like that. So they'll be doing a whole...
I see.
These are very geometric hills. Most hills are usually smooth things. But that is how you set it up. So now, if I come in, I know unless I kill these guys very quickly, I'll be stuck in a flank. I would, spoiler alert, I will charge, just for a lesson.
So, any bonus if individual hero is with army?
Very good. Yes, he is inspiring. What that means is that when it comes for you to find out if your unit runs away or not, if he's nearby, you get to re-roll the result if you fail.
How many times? Just once?
Just once. But that's very
But
useful.
reroll everything or only reroll once?
Let's say you fail it, the unit runs away. You get to re-roll the whole double dice. You'll see what happens when we get to a combat very soon. But that's his ability, is he provides that aura within 6 inches. So all around 6 inches from him, so that would probably be them. And still, I think just them. They might be not within 6. And so maybe that would involve...
I think just.
From him. Yeah?
I can move, so that's
Perfect.
fine.
So you go to the closest point. So yeah. They're definitely within 6. So he has that inspiring aura, which is very helpful, and most armies always make sure they have at least a couple guys around with inspiring.
Okay.
So you can tell mine is quite in the center. Yeah.
But other than that, that inspiring was originated from him, but he doesn't get any bonus from being with an army.
No, he doesn't get any bonus.
No, like extra protection or whatever.
No, but it would be quite hard to charge him. And he, by being individual, it's very hard to shoot him. It's -1 to hit.
Oh, because you have to target.
Yeah, exactly. It's one little dude running around with fancy boots.
I think I'm going to move him.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get in range of my Tortured Souls, because they would love to kill him if he got in range. Just to be equal. Perfect.
Did I pivot?
Well, he can pivot a million times.
That's true. Yeah, that's fine.
Individuals are very plastic. All right. Well, that would conclude your movement phase. Good work, Florina. It's time to get shooting.
So how do I shoot? What dice?
All right. So this.
What dice should I fill at?
Well, these guys have 8 attacks. Your Flamebearers, right?
8 attacks. So 8.
8 dice. So
8?
grab 8 d6. Yeah. All right. Looks like 8. Yep. So grab them. Now, I assume, as we've been measuring the whole time, we'll be shooting at the Tortured Souls, correct? Okay. So first, if we take a look at your unit entry, so I'll be showing, as we go, rules, but rewritten in my own hand, so I'm not showing the actual rules. So you can see, this is a troop of Flamebearers, 8 attacks. They hit ranged, RA, 4+. So you need to roll 4, 5, or 6. That's what 4+ means.
Okay.
So 4 or higher. So you roll those dice and see...
D is defense.
Defense. Melee.
Speed. Okay.
Speed. There you go. Exactly. So let's see how many you get of 4 or higher. Very good. Wow. That's a great roll. So you generally the etiquette is you take away the rolls that are failures. Yeah.
How about I do exact opposite?
Because then people can still see the successes.
I see.
All right. Now you just saw the defense stat. So now you have to look at the defense stat of me. So your ranged is done. Now we look at my defense stat, which is a Tortured Souls. And Tortured Souls, oops, I went too far, have a defense of 4+.
Oh, so same.
Same, except Flamebearers, their firebolts are piercing 1, which means my defense gets dropped by 1. It shows that your bullets, your flames, your arrows can go through my armor. So actually it's 3+.
So does that mean you have to roll or you don't?
No, you roll it. You get to... Yeah, I don't roll anything in your turn. You roll everything. You roll to hurt me. I wouldn't want to roll to hurt myself.
So then I have to roll again to get 3+ to hurt you.
Yeah, so you've hit. How many of those hits go through my armor is what we're rolling. No, it's 2 layers. Oh. All of them? Alright, that's 5 damage. So we like to keep... See, this is what happens. I teach her a game and then she does better than me. So, I like to use D20s from Magic the Gathering. So these are dice counters that you can see that go in a certain rotation. Spin down counters, that's what they're called. So you've done 5 damage to me, so I'll note that here. Some people use regular D6 dice, but the problem is you're liable to pick them up by accident and use them. So, there's 5 damage on them. Now, the nerve test. So you do all your shooting, and once you're finished, now you'll figure out if your shooting actually makes any of my units run away.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we look at is the nerve value, NE. And my nerve is -14. Right? So that just means you have to roll 2 dice. Whatever that result is, add your damage, and if that is 14 or higher, they're gone.
So 2 dice of 6?
2d6, roll them together. Since I'm -14, that means you need to roll a 9. If you roll a 9, I'm out of here.
Wow.
And you will have shot them off. You did incredible damage. That's fantastic. Alright. So just don't roll a 9.
No.
Not quite. Okay. Whew. It's alright. Anyway, if I did fail, thankfully my leader is there who would tell them to, hold on, chill out, and do it again. But with that much damage already means that chances are next time you shoot them and do some more damage, you'll have to roll.
Oh, so that is the overall damage they take. Okay.
Permanently.
Yep.
And so next turn, it might be even worse.
Yep.
So that's fantastic work. If you had more shooting, you'd do more units, and then you'd roll at the end to see who runs away. But we've just got the 1 unit to keep it simple.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's on to my turn. Okay. So I have my Tortured Souls here, and although this is not tactically sound, I'm technically playing for demonstration. So I am going to charge in with my Tortured Souls. So they charge a full 16 inches, right? So there's a 16. So if I put that there, and I measure closest point to closest point. Mm-hmm. There we go, 16. Mm-hmm. So with that measured, you don't need to measure anymore. The actual charge itself, it doesn't matter how far you move. So now I know they're going to move straight forward.
Yep.
So we'll move them there until they connect, like that. And then you pick them up and place them as aligned to your fighting unit like that. So I've come in and I've crashed. Always bring your damage with you. Do not forget.
Yep.
So that's my first movement.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you wouldn't want to do that first. You don't have to do charges first. I just thought that's a bit exciting. Now the rest of the army is going to start coming up and hopefully deal some damage. So these Flamebearers are not going to do anything really. But I wonder, what you can do is a unit can move through your own units as long as it goes out the other side, right?
Okay.
Because they don't hate each other, they'll let each other through. So technically, if I wanted...
So you want those to be at the front?
Yeah, but can I? Do I have enough room? So I'll leave this here, so 5 inches going forwards. Can I get within? Or just. Right, so there we are. Now, these guys will move backwards.
Backwards?
Yeah, so I want to be able to shoot them. Right now, they can't because I'm right in front. I've set this up myself badly, but it hopefully shows units being able to move through other units when you want to. So now these guys are going to move back just so that they can see your tortured souls there to shoot them. Alright? Or maybe I'll move them sideways. Sideways is probably better. So I'll move them sideways so you can see some sideways movement. But
I'm kind of on a hill. Can you see?
Oh, good point. Very good point. So if you were more than 50% on the hill, you would actually be on it and very high. But considering I don't think you're 50%, I think you're about 40.
I mean, technically I'm 50. But you just can't lean it.
Well, then in that case, I would be able to see them. Because then you would be on the hill, high up. So I can see you on top of a hill. In any case, I'll move these guys sideways. Ooh, they're a bit interfering with each other, so I'll move them sideways 5 inches. Now, because they're moving in a forest, they're going to get -1 to hit.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have to live with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And now my individual will come up as well, just to sit there, still in the forest.
That's so. This and this is 6 inch, right? That's all within 6
Yeah,
inch.
is it all within 6 inches? Good point. Yes, so everything's inspiring everything.
Okay.
The only thing not inspired are my tortured souls, and that's usually what happens because they're much faster, so they're out of range.
Okay.
So that's my movement.
Yep.
I'm stuck in my forest. It was a bad place to put my units, but forests do that. Time to do some shooting. So I get to have 8 dice. We know this unit quite well. They've also got 8. There we go. And now shooting at your tortured souls, but with a -1 to hit because I moved in difficult terrain. So it doesn't matter if I was moving in a forest or this swamp. Moving means you get -1 to hit. And that, I wish I didn't, but unfortunately that's what I get, even if I have steady aim. So hitting on 5s, -1.
Hey.
Look at that.
One.
Awful.
Okay.
Now, you have a 4+ defense.
Yeah.
I have piercing 1, so I get to make that 3+ defense. I get 1.
Okay.
1 is alright. So I'll turn that to a 1. Bang. Now, I could try and roll a nerve test, but since you're 14, I can't. 12.
No,
Exactly.
can't.
So impossible. Nothing I can do about that. These units are what's referred to as fearless units. Some units, or actually most in the game, actually have an additional value. So, for instance, our Flamebearers, they are 9-11. So 9 means if you get that result, they can't do anything. They're scared, but they're not gone. So it's called wavering.
9 dash. If you get 9, as in if they've taken 9 damage.
Or if you get a total result of 9 on a nerve test against Flamebearers,
Okay.
they'll be wavering, which means they can't do much.
Yeah. Okay.
But then if I got 11, they're gone.
Okay.
But sometimes people hate getting 9 more than 11 because if it's gone, then at least you don't have to worry about it. Whereas 9 means it gets stuck in the way. Like for instance, if these guys were wavering, they would be preventing them from doing something.
Because they're in the way.
They're in the
so you have
way.
to move around them.
Yeah, exactly. It's really annoying.
I see. Okay.
Alright, so I can't do anything in my range, but now I can do my attacks with my tortured souls. So it's now my melee phase. I get to hit you. Tortured souls have 9 attacks. So, there we go, 9 dice. They hit on 4+. So let's see them go. Come on, ladies. 4+, we take away the misses. Oh, slightly below average, so 4 hits. Now, we check, do they have any special rules? They have Crushing Strength 1, which is like Piercing, but for close combat. So, I lower your defense of 5, these guys are defense 5, as denoted by the armor, to 4. So 4s. Just 1. I'm not doing great, am I? That's the curse of going against your wife. So, I've just done 1 damage, a measly 1 damage. These guys are also what's called Fearless. So they're dash 16. There's no way I can roll with 2 dice. Yeah, I know, dash 16.
Wow.
So there's no way I can roll 2 dice with +1 and get anything useful. So that was a dismal charge. Very useless. But now Florina will get to feel the experience, because it was all by plan, of course, of doing a flank charge. So with that, that's the end of my combat. Now it's Florina's turn. Now, what are you going to be doing with your Flamebearers, you think? What will they be shooting?
Flamebearer.
Yeah, that's right, yes. They bend
because the
flames.
flame. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I see.
What would you like them to
Obviously
shoot?
shooting these.
Well, you can't shoot them. Good
Why
point.
not?
Well, for when your unit charges back in, so right now you have a choice in the movement phase. You can do what's called a counter charge, where you slam back into your opponent, or you can do a withdraw, where you say, nah, I had enough, I want to get out of here. And so you move away slightly, and then you do whatever movements you want to do after that. Obviously, these guys have got the numbers advantage, and they've got some friends about to do a charge at the same time, so I reckon they probably want to do what...
Wait, I still don't get it. Why can't I shoot them?
Well,
Because they're engaged?
Yes, once they're... If you decide to counter charge and put these guys in, or if my units are in combat at all, you just can't shoot them.
That is very strange.
You can't shoot them.
Because that's not how normal war works.
But
You want your enemy to be engaged, and then you can do a sneaky sneak.
Yes, in a way, but imagine in war, the enemy is still made up of multiple units. Some will be stuck in combat, but then the back ones might not be. So these are my back units. Because imagine right now, yes, these guys look like they're separate, but really what they should be is they're fighting amongst each other.
Tangling,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you know, my souls are trying to get through your ranks and your guys are surrounding them and chopping them to pieces. So instead, you'll have to shoot something else. So you can't shoot units in combat, but you can shoot my other units perhaps. Now, make sure, move your tape measure right to the tip, because right now you were measuring 17. There we go. Just out, but you can fix that. You could just move forward just a bit, because these guys can't shoot you back. My Flamebearers could, but I don't think you have to worry about them for now. They're too far away.
They still, okay.
So you could shuffle forward a bit.
There you go.
Yeah. Now you'll be in range of both my individual if you want, but also my Abyssal Guards.
Not quite.
But that's okay. Like I said, he's a -1 to hit, and he's in a forest, so there's an extra -1 to hit. So hitting him, you'd have to roll 6s, which would be useless. Alright, so that's one movement done. What about your individual? So what you can do here, I'll just let you inform you, is you can look at what we say is we look at the angles. So you can see these guys, their front, they can obviously get the flank of my Tortoise Soul. So that's clear. But he can also see the front of that unit there. So he could charge in too, if he wanted to. So you could have a triple charge here, where 3 separate units are all going to go in. But you have to announce them together. You can't be like, oh, I'm counter charging here, and then you think about it and go, oh, and I also want to move this in here. I mean, we will allow that today, but in competitive play, you want to be a bit more putting it all together at once.
So what can this guy do other than inspiring in terms of normal attack?
He's got 5 attacks. Yeah, he still punches pretty good. He's got 5 attacks. He has Crushing 1 because he's quite strong. That's pretty much it for his melee output. And he hits on 3s. He's better than your normal.
So is is getting to 14 the only way to get rid of an army? I mean, these ones?
You don't have to get 14 damage. You could just luckily roll high enough. So if you roll right now, so if you see that 5, like I said, you roll a 9, they're gone. But when you countercharge, chances are these guys, the Abyssal Guard, they've got 12 attacks. So they're probably going to do quite a bit of damage. Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5. You might like your Flamebearers. And then you'll bump that number up by a lot more. So then you maybe only need to roll a 5 with 2 dice, which sounds much more possible. If you put these guys in, they'll probably do even more damage because they're coming in a flank. So chances are you'll have to roll maybe only a 2.
Okay.
But maybe you don't need to put your character in if you don't want to. He could just stay there.
Yeah,
fair enough. All right, so in terms of declaring the charge, you want to do a counter charge and a flank charge together?
Counter. That's
so,
counter charge?
They're already in combat, so they're doing a counter charge.
Okay, yeah.
And then, move these guys into the flank and make it so that they're facing pretty much the middle of their own unit. And push it along a little bit more so it's perfectly in the middle of that unit. I'll hold that. Oh yeah, they're too tangly. That's all right, we can keep them a little bit apart.
Yeah.
Like that. Perfect. So that looks like a T, an upside down T. And they're in the front, they're in the side.
Oh.
Yep, bring their damage with them. I earned it. 1 damage. Bloody hell. Alright, and now what's he gonna do?
Who?
Your
These.
character. They've already moved, they're done. What would he like to do? Does he just want to stay where he is?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Alright, so now it's on to the ranged phase. So let's see how effective your shooting is against the slightly tougher Abyssal Guard.
So, how many?
8.
8.
Yeah, 8 shots. So I think there's 9 dice there. Yeah, so now 8. Now, like I said, you're shooting at some guys hiding in a forest, so he's going to be...
-1.
So 5s to hit. A little bit trickier. Okay, like me, just 1. Alright. Now I've got...
Feel better?
Yeah, I do. They're defense 5, because they're tougher, but you've got piercing 1, so that means...
Defense 4+.
Yeah, very good. Oh, still get 1. 1's always a good start. Yeah, we'll grab a d20. Good. There we go. 1 damage. Dash 16. Well, they'll never run. Okay, but in combat, things are going to run. Which one would you like to start with first?
The flank one.
The flank? Alright, so they have 9 attacks, but they get double. Yeah, maths.
I think I'm going to do 9 + 9. I can't do 18.
You don't want to... Oh, but half the fun is rolling them all together.
Huh? But my hands are very small.
I think you can do it.
Man.
You won't know the joy until you've tried. So there's 5. There's 4. So that's all the dice. Alright, so let's move them away.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Give it a good shake.
Can't. It can barely.
Ah, come on. And you're hitting on 4s. So get rid of all those 3 2s and 1s. Get them out of here. Oh, very good roll. Jeez, look at that. The maths is not in my favor today. Oh no. Alright, now. So you've... How many? 11. Exactly. That's not 50%. It should be, but it isn't. Florina's lucky. Alright, let's see how lucky she is to damage. So you've hit. Can you wound? I'm defense 4. You are crushing 1. So what does that mean?
3+.
Alright, let's do the 3+. Oh, I don't see that many fails. I see 4 of them. Yeah. And so how much damage is that in total? That looks like 7. Oh, so on top of my 5...
12.
Oh no, I'm on 12 damage. Very close to my limit of 14. So already it needs double 1s. So 2 to keep them around. But anyway, would you like to also do your Abyssal Guard in the front? 12 attacks? Yeah, it seems excessive now, doesn't it? But that's what you want. Because you never know when you might fail.
12, yeah.
Because a roll of double 1s always means my unit can stick around. It's probably one of the most frustrating things. But it makes sense. So these guys are hitting on 3s. Oh, they don't know how to hit very well, do they? Oh, gosh. Well, it's a good thing you got the flank charge. Alright. Now these guys have no crushing, so they're just going to have to...
4+, right?
Yep, exactly. Okay. No one gave them the big weapons. 3. So putting that up to 15 damage in total.
Are they gone or not? They're gone, right?
Not gone. You still have to roll, because if you get that double ones, I'll stick around. You roll 2 dice, and if you get a double 1, this is the nerve test. So, obviously on any other roll, I'll be gone. Because you add 3 to 15 is 18, much higher. But if you roll double 1, that means I'm fearless. No double 1, they're out of there.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. So the tortured souls are removed. My tortured souls. And then as a result, what you get to do is to... Oh, and I forgot actually. But first, you get to pivot or move. So the result of a fight means that you can either turn on the point, so you can reform. So change the way you face to face the new enemy. Or you can move directly forwards, D6. So you can roll a dice and just keep on your momentum, as if you charged through your enemy and stomped them down and kept marching forward. You can also move sideways or backwards, D6, but it's variable.
D6.
So a dice. So you roll 1 dice.
That's inch?
Yes, inches. D6 inches, I should say. So if you want to move forward, you could say, I want to move forward D6 inches, but then you might be in charge range. So yeah, exactly. So maybe what you want to do...
is just pivot this. That's it.
Exactly, but you'll have to pivot it in a way that it doesn't end on top of the unit, obviously. So, for instance...
Oh, I think that'll be fine, but they'll be in the front.
Yeah, these might be blocking those, but
Yeah.
they'll probably be able to fly out of the way next turn. I'll get rid of the damage there. So if you pick them up and pivot them... Yeah, there we go. Slightly on the hill. That's okay. Perfect. Now, what I was just about to add is that this unit actually has Life Leech. So they can suck the energy from their opponents and get some health back. So if you recall, how much damage did these guys do? It was like 7?
Maybe?
Yeah, I think I did 7. Yep. They have ability called Life Leech 2. So it means up to 2 damage that they deal will heal them twice. So obviously they've only got 1 damage left. So now they have no damage left.
Full health. Yay!
They are full health. So they're actually quite a tough unit in the way that... Yeah, you can't remove them very easily. So, I'm down 1 unit. Florina still has all her units with only a little bit of damage on 1. How will I bring this back? I probably can't. I'm going to leave those Flamebearers there so they're no longer moving in terrain, so they don't get that minus. So hopefully they can shoot a little bit more. What I'll need to do next...
But part of it's still in the forest, right?
Correct, but now I'm not moving. If I spend a turn in the forest not moving, then I can shoot out of it.
Okay, so as if they've
figured it out. The trees...
They've gotten used to it. Okay.
They've gotten used to it and they can fire out. So one tactic is to move your unit into a forest, wait a turn, and then start shooting. Okay, so now these guys are going to get out of the forest. Moving up 5.
They can go on river?
Yeah, well, the river's not going to have any effect this turn. Now, taking a look, you're within 10, so you'll be able to charge me. But I guess I'll have to cop it. And then these pivot, go 5 there, to hopefully...
Inspire.
Exactly, inspire. But you might be able to charge him if you wanted. The damage with them. Now, let's see if my Flamebearer shooting can do as good as yours did against Tortured Souls. So these guys are going to shoot your Tortured Souls. So in the range phase. So let's get my dice. 8. 8 shots. Hitting on 4s. That's more like it. Uh-oh. 6 hits. Defense 3, thanks to my piercing 1. 5 wounds right back at ya. So we'll grab our damage and plonk. They've got their 5 wounds back.
If you hear something weird, that's Amy, I don't know, choking on her own saliva.
Yeah, she's a silly dog. Alright, now I need that same result as you, a 9. Can I get the 9? Because I think you're outside of your inspiring. 8. Not quite. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been a sweet revenge. But alas, no.
I'm a lass.
You're a lass, yes. Okay, but there's no combats for me, so it's your turn.
Huh.
Yeah, I know, quick. This is a quick game. So she's got a few options here of what she could charge. Well, the Abyssal Guard don't. The Abyssal Guard simply have the option to charge the other Abyssal Guard.
Question.
Yes.
Can I see this dude?
Not with... Oh, yes, with them you can.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
But
also
I can
height.
see, because oh, okay, yeah.
You are height 5.
Yeah.
So you can see over all height 2 things.
But that's too far. Yeah.
What do you mean too far? 18 inches? Oh, to my Flamebearers, correct. Yes, my Flamebearers are out of range of yours. So all you can shoot at with them are either the Abyssal Guard or the Abyssal Champion. Now in terms of what these guys can do, they could both charge the Abyssal Guard. Your Abyssal Guard here, it's getting confusing because they've all got the same names. But these guys can only charge them because they don't move very far.
But this one can charge this dude, right?
Yeah, or even my Flamebearers. It's got choice of everything.
The dog has knees. I think she wants to go out.
Alright, we'll let her out. One moment. Alright, we're back. Dog is out. So, yes. These Tortured Souls have the choice of all 3 units to charge. So what you could do is double charge my Abyssal Guard.
The problem is, if I want to charge him, does that mean I might get flanked?
Or probably not, because your unit is not wide enough. So if hopefully we can remember where these guys are. Oh, I'll use mine as a placement. So let's say these charge in here, right? So they'll come in like that. So there they are. If you take a look at the front part of my Abyssal Guard, they cannot see. If you imagine that line coming out here at 45 degrees from that corner, and this is all the area that they can see, they definitely can't see the Tortured Souls. So you'll
Plus, if they are engaged, they can't shoot me? I mean, they can't find me, or is that how it works?
I could if my unit was facing this way, I could.
Or the thing you were talking about with the shooting
Doesn't apply
to shooting.
Only applies to shooting, yes. You can all jump into combats.
Okay.
So yes, your Tortured Souls could fly and come in and try and snipe my hero. They could equally fly in here and take out the Flamebearers to remove that ranged and get some revenge. Or they could help out your Abyssal Guard and both of them could go in there to hopefully ensure that you destroy it. Because you can imagine...
I think that's better.
Yeah, because those Abyssal Guard going into each other could be probably fighting for many turns.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So... I think I'm gonna just shoot all. Sorry, they are gonna shoot that.
Well, and these guys aren't going to charge them.
They're gonna charge as well.
Well,
but
that's
shooting comes first, right?
No.
Huh?
Yeah, movement. It's all movement, remember? Movement first.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're gonna... Yeah, you can't shoot... But you could shoot him. You could shoot that guy if you wanted. You might not hit him, because he's hard to hit, but...
But either way, I mean, they can move there.
Yes, exactly. So what you do with the double charge, you pick your first unit that want to do it, but leave enough room for the other unit to come in. So these guys would pivot to face, go, and then they'll make... They essentially ensure that both of them get equal.
Okay.
Like that, ish.
Okay.
Alright, so you're both in. That still means these guys can shoot over the top and try and take out my leader. And so that's what we'll do. Ranged.
That's 8, isn't it? Huh?
Just 8 attacks.
Oh, 8. I was like 7. No, but there's one on the floor.
Well, he doesn't count, but sure.
No.
That's a dead goblin.
Oh, oops.
Yes, technically, when these units are designed, this should have 10 models on there, but there's what's called preferred model count, where you get to put slightly under in order to add some scenery to the base. So, here we go. 8 shots, -1 because I'm individual. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to put the damage there. Good point. So I'm an individual, so you're going to be hitting on 5s. That's better. 2 hits at least. Okay, 2 hits, but we just realised that you didn't get to move your character. So if you want to move him 5 inches so he's in between your 2 units, or even within 6 inches of the Tortured Souls as well, that will probably help. Perfect. See if is he within 6 of the Tortured Souls? Yeah, very good. Alright, now, anyway, so that's 2 hits. Now, wounding, defense 5, piercing 1. What do you need to roll? I'm defense 5, you're piercing 1.
Oh, so 4.
Yeah, let's go.
No, 1.
That's alright, that's 1 on a hard to hit character. So, now, let's take a look at the Abyssal Champion. He's pretty stern, but if you roll... So he's 13, 15. Which means if you roll a 12, you'll get 13, which means you won't be able to do anything. He'll be a bit scared. He'll be wavered. So, roll 2 dice and see if you can get that double 6. Yeah, I know, unlikely. Especially since you have to roll it twice, because I'm inspiring myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not 7, no. But you never know. It happens sometimes. So, just 1 damage, that's helpful. So, let's get into some combat. Yeah, which unit first?
These ones.
Yeah? The Banshees, the Myrmourn Banshees, which are now Tortured Souls. So 9 attacks.
How do you remember these things? You just do?
I just do. It probably comes from wargaming for, you know, my whole childhood. So hitting on 4s. They got melee 4. Oh, not so good now. You're getting tired. But if you do at least 2 damage, you'll get those 2 wounds back with your life leech. Alright, so now, crushing 1, defense 5. 4s again. 2, very nice. So if we go to my damage counter here, put that up to 3. There we go. And you get 2 health back. Now for viewers, they're probably not being like, well, why aren't you doing regeneration? We'll do regeneration the next game. That makes this a bit complicated.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of units here, so the Flamebearers and the Abyssal Guard and the Champion all have what's called regeneration.
Okay.
In fact, we can probably start doing it. We'll start it next turn. We'll just say that they start regenerating next turn.
Okay.
So you can get an idea of how it works. But I didn't want to do it at the start.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Yeah, let's see what the Abyssal Guard can do.
It's a 12, isn't
12 attacks, but no crushing. Yeah, but they hit better, so it's probably the same.
5 plus? 5 plus.
Yeah, defense 5+. So it's going to be hard to get through their armor, but they hit on 3s. So they're a bit more accurate. They're better. They're demons rather than tortured souls.
Right, I talk. Yeah. Don't want to cheat.
Alright.
Or accidental cheat.
That's okay. I'll forgive you. So 3+ to hit. Not greatest, but still going to help add on some more damage. Now here's the tricky part.
Wait, 5, isn't it?
No, 3+ to hit. Because your Abyssal Guard are melee 3+.
No, but I haven't rolled. I'm just rolling how many hits.
Oh yeah. And now damage is 5+. No, those were hits. Like I said,
Isn't it a 5 plus to hit?
3+ to hit.
I'm so confused.
Melee. Yeah, that's okay. So, if we go to the page, Abyssal Guard melee 3+.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So easy to hit.
They hit better, but they have no crushing strength. So now you're gonna.
So easy to hit, but hard to do damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, not bad. Half of them were successful. Alright, let's plonk that up now to 6. So, you need to roll a 10 to get rid of them. You never know. Ooh, I saw that 5 and I thought, but no. It's a 7. They're okay. So see, if it was just them by themselves, you would have no hope. So now we have the situation. Which unit do I charge? So while multiple units can charge 1, you can't charge multiple units in return. So I have to pick which unit I want to countercharge.
Yeah.
So looking at them, what I'm seeing is that these guys are pretty weak and easy to kill, but they do quite a bit of damage. So I might as well go for them, right? But in doing so let's say I did So this is explain a bit of tactics. So let's say I charged with both of these. So I charge here, with my character, and charge here. They'll slide over. Now my flank is completely open to your unit, right?
So flank is 45 degrees.
The 45 degree here of my unit is now in what's called this is the leader point, so the middle of your unit. So you figure out who can see what based on the middle of the unit.
Okay.
So if that 45 degree there, you can see that I can clearly see that side. So when it comes to your turn, your unit will be able to go bang into the side. That would be very bad because then you have 24 attacks into my side. So I don't want to do that. So instead what I'll have to do is countercharge these guys. They can't get quite close to each other because of their weapons.
Yeah.
And then he will have to go in alone and hopefully hold these guys back.
Okay.
But what I might do...
Can a hero flank?
Good question. If you're an individual, you get no bonus to flanking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Because you're charging a whole army.
Exactly. And it also makes up for the fact they're so good at moving, you'll get flanks very often. It'll be very annoying.
Okay.
But since I don't think he'll do very well by himself, I'm going to send in these guys. Even though they're not very good in combat, they've got nothing to shoot, right? They can't see him.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So I might as well...
Because everything's engaged.
Everything's engaged, so I might as well send them in to help their boss. So if I put him down here, and then these guys will charge forwards, bang, lift them up. So now they're in combat right there. I'll put that damage counter next to him in that convenient little slot. So there we go. It's a big fight. And my Flamebearers are getting their hands dirty. So I don't have any shooting.
Yeah.
Because my shooting is otherwise engaged, so it's time to do the combats.
Yep.
So I will start with this combat here. Hopefully take out these Tortured Souls. Maybe. So the Flamebearers, as we know by now, have 8 attacks. But if we look at their profile, they have merely 5+ to show that they're just not very good in combat.
Okay.
So let's see. How many of those will hit? Oh, actually, I didn't point out, but they also moved through the forest. -1.
Oh.
Merely 6+. Oh, dismal. Oh, but I get 2.
Wow.
Good enough. That was worth it. That might help.
That was worth it.
So now, how much will damage? Merely, you've got defense 4. That's 1. That's 2. Fantastic. I'm sorry, Florina.
You're not.
I'm not sorry. And now for my big leader with his 5 attacks. He knows how to hit, so he's hitting on 3s.
Wow.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to hit. Because that's 3 misses.
2, it's still okay.
2 is still okay. Good point. He has Crushing 1 to denote his powerful ability. How strong is he? He does both, because your defense 4, becoming 3. So 2 more damage on top, getting him to 7. I finished all my damage. It's time for the nerve test. They're dash 14, so I need to get 7. Pretty average, but I need 7 twice thanks to you moving your...
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so 7. Roll a 4.
Okay.
Oh, that would have been nice. But we're stuck. Now let's see what Abyssal Guard versus Abyssal Guard can do. 6. And then another 6 to get to 12. So, hitting on 3s. Oh, look at that.
Almost everything, isn't it?
Geez, sometimes I do great. Sometimes. But can I wound? Because you got that high defense 5.
5.
Only 3, but 3 is very, very precious. I'll take it. So 3, plonk it up to... That's 4 damage on you in total.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I'm getting that damage in. If I roll double 6, I might get rid of them because they're 16. So if I roll 12 plus 4, 16. But I have to do it twice. Oh, 11. Pretty close.
Wait.
Because dash 16.
These are not Abyssal Guard.
It is Abyssal Guard. So take a look at the regiment. This is the regiment of Abyssal Guard.
Oh, 16. Oh, okay. Because I was looking at 12.
Yeah, the troop, it would be half the size.
I see.
So I do not get rid of you. So now it's time to introduce Regeneration, because Florina's units have started taking damage, and these are the ones that have regen. So Tortured Souls have Life Leech to help get themselves some health back, which is pretty cool. But these guys have regeneration. So whenever regeneration happens is after you've moved them. So I assume in this case, you're just going to countercharge, slam back in. So you say, I countercharge. So if you have to, you move them a bit back in. But otherwise, once you finish your movement, you roll 1 dice for each damage they have. And on a roll of a 5+, because Abyssal Guard have regeneration 5+, on each roll of 5 or 6, they get 1 wound back.
So, more wound they have, more regeneration.
Yeah,
might
exactly.
happen.
And this can piss people off. So as they get more hurt, they might get back even better. So you usually have to kill them pretty quick. So that's the cool thing about demons, or abyssals, is they have the ability to really come back if you don't kill them on the first go. And that's what I've done. I haven't killed them on the first go. So if you want to take 4 dice and see how many 5s and 6s you get, you might get none, but you might get quite a lot. Any's good.
Why 4? 5?
4 dice for their 4 damage. And roll 5s or 6s. Oh, there's 1. So they go back up. Well, they go down 1 damage. Useful. So that's regen. If the Flamebearers also had something, you would tell them what order you would do. So you could tell them to halt, which is where they just stand on the spot. Even that's an order, so they need to roll their regen. But they haven't taken any damage, because they've just been standing on the hill. What would you like to do with them? It's unlikely they're going to get to shoot anything for a little bit.
Yeah.
But they might be able to shoot. So depending on who you want to charge back here with your Tortured Souls, they might be able to shoot whoever's not in combat. Because your Tortured Souls can't charge both. You'll have to pick one. Which one would you want to charge? The other one could be shot.
I think I'm going to charge the hero.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
So they can shoot these guys.
Yeah, because I'll nudge them back just a little bit to show they're not in combat. Yes, you can shoot them. And since you're at height 5, I'm height 2, and the only thing in between is height 2, no penalty. If these guys were, say, height 3 or 4, you'll actually get a -1 to show that it's a bit trickier. But we've got very simple armies today. Well, that's your movement. Would your hero like to do anything? Or do you think he's pretty good where he is, offering that aura? Because my hero's in combat. Would you like to work towards getting your hero in combat? Or you think he's more precious
The
where
problem
he
is, I can't do that, can I?
He can walk... Well, yeah. Well,
So
he can't charge there.
Sideways.
If he moved here, he would gain line of sight on the unit. Then he could charge them. But right now, since I'm in the way, he can't see any of my units right now to charge. If he was a bit taller, if he was height 3, he would be able to. He'd look over and be like, I want to charge them, out of my way.
So the movement was what? 5 sideways as well.
He's an individual. He can move 5 any which way. He can just turn, move 5, and then turn again to face whichever way he likes. Individuals are very flexible. But maybe you want to keep him there.
Nah, I think I'll keep him there.
Yeah.
It still is inspire.
Exactly. And 5 points of damage, not that important, you think?
For now.
For now. Maybe you'll want to bring him in later. Alright, so, shooty time. You want to shoot my Flamebearers. They're going to get a taste of their own medicine, huh? So, 8 shots. What are we hitting on? Yeah, it's alright. Range 4+. So 4, 5s, and 6s will do the trick. Hey. There's some good Flamebearer shooting going on today. Yeah, I know. Surprise! There's only 2 misses. Okay, now, what's the defense of my Flamebearers? You'll be unsurprised to find out they're defense 3. And you're piercing 1. What does that mean?
2+.
Yeah, bloody 2+. Don't roll 1s.
Don't curse me.
Oh, that's a lot of 1s.
JP!
There's so many 1s.
JP! I told you!
Hey, 2's still pretty good.
Yeah, of course, because you're on the other side.
Well, of course I want to curse your rolling ability because it's been too good.
Oh, man.
But guess what? Flamebearers, their nerve is only 9/11. So if you roll 2 dice, you roll a 7, they'll be wavered. So roll those 2 dice. Get a 7.
Nope.
Ah, 6. Not quite. Hey, maybe next turn. You're going to shoot them. All right, combat time. Which combat would you like to do first? And would you
The
like to...
hero one.
Why would you do it? Do you have a reason why? Or you just because fun?
Because it's fun.
Well also, it's good because if you kill him, I have no inspiring. So you always want to kill the heroes first. Alright, so you got your 9 attacks.
Have you... Oh, well, you wouldn't. But in Chinese, there's a saying called 擒贼先擒王, which means if you're trying to catch, I guess, a gang, you would catch the gang leader first.
Right, yeah, or cut the head off the snake. Is the saying. In case snakes are armies.
9?
9 attacks, correct. And you'll be hitting on 4+, because my individual does not affect combat. It's only when you try and shoot at him.
Your individual doesn't...
Remember? Yeah. So here we go. Ooh.
4, right? You said 4+.
4+, so I think, yeah, you did slightly higher than 50%. There we go. Get rid of those. They're misses. They're rolling. Now, I'm defense 5, but you have crushing 1.
Okay.
So 4+ again. So roughly 2.5 of these. How many? Oh, 4. Gosh. All right. So now I'm up to 5 damage. I'm going to start regenerating next turn. Can you get rid of me straight away? So now we look at the Abyssal Champion. 13, 15. Rolling the 2 dice. If you roll an 8, you'll waver him. So let's see. Can you roll an 8? Because you don't get to. I don't get to make you re-roll it.
Yeah, because you can't inspire yourself.
No, I can inspire myself, but I can't do it with a waver. Only if you get rid of me. But if you roll an 8... Whoa, 10! Well, that gets rid of me, so you'll have to roll it again. Because I'll be dead. If you roll a 10 again, I'm gone. You kill the leader. Oh! No pressure. You probably roll a 4. Oh, you roll a 9! Alright, 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, so that's between 13 and 15.
Yeah, so what do you do?
Now I'm wavered. So it means
okay.
what he can't do is he can't charge anything else. But he thankfully has a special rule, lots of rules, called Fury. Which means if, in the case he's wavered, he can at least attack whoever's fighting him. Most units would not be able to attack. They just stand there, wondering what the hell's happened to them or trying to defend themselves. So at least he is very angry, so he'll keep hitting you, but I don't get to choose. So now he's a bit angry.
Okay.
But now you're definitely going to hurt him. Okay, now on to the Abyssal Guard versus Abyssal Guard.
Yep, 12,
Fighting their bros. It's demonic civil war.
How many?
12 attacks. So how many got there?
9.
9, 3 more. Alright, hitting on 3s and then wounding on 5s.
Can we get a dice tray?
You can get a dice tray from Etsy, sure.
Hitting on 3, right?
Yeah.
Hitting on 3.
So that's 4 misses. That's actually perfectly average. From 12. Now 5s. This is where it's going to be a bit harder. 5 to wound. I've got 6 damage already. So. Ooh, 4. 50%. That's definitely not average. Florina, which gods have you sacrificed to? I'm on 11.
The marriage god. Hey?
5? No.
10. You were on 6.
Yeah.
Are you sabotaging yourself? You just want me to win, don't you?
I just saw 11 and I thought 11. Anyway, so now I'm dash 16, so you need to roll a 6 to get rid of me. Twice. That's the tricky part.
Ooh. Soz.
Getting to...
It's
a 4.
Nah, my rolling is really bad.
The fight continues. No one's killed anyone. That's okay. But we didn't do... These guys definitely did... They did 4 damage, so what means to them? Yeah. Life leech. There we go. So they're getting a bit healthier. They're going to get hit back. So, my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, time to fight. So, not much movement going on here. Countercharge. Right back in. since I told them to do something, I get to do regeneration. They have taken 10 damage, so this is where regen gets pretty tasty. But I need it. If I don't do it, I'll be dead. So let's do 10 regen rolls. Every 5+, I get a wound back. Oh, there's 2. That's not too bad. So now I'm down to 8 damage on that unit. So hopefully that'll help me last a little bit longer. Now, when it comes to my other movements, we'll do that double charge again. So these guys will go back in, bang, and so will my character because he's furious. He is angry. How dare you hurt him? Now, both of them got regen, so I can roll their regen rolls as well. So my Abyssal Champion with his 5 damage, he gets 3 back. Oh boy. This fight's probably never going to end. This is why you normally don't do Abyssals versus Abyssals. And then my Flamebearers, since they charge back in, I'll do their regen of 2. They get 1 back. There we go. So I'm taking damage, but slowly healing back. I'm sorry, Florina.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I'm glad I can heal.
Stop lying.
All right, combat first. Let's go with my Abyssal Guard. Since I'm holding 10 dice here, let's add 2 more. So I'll come closer. So Florina doesn't need to. So here we go. 3+ to hit, 5+ to wound. So miss, miss. Ooh, look at that rolling. Not bad. So we'll grab all those. Oh no. 5+. Oh,
Yay!
terrible. Just 2 damage. That's not going to do much. So we'll tick that up to 5. So with 2 dice, I need an 11 to get that 16. And I need it twice. Oh, 1. I have to roll it again. Because if you're inspiring. But if I get 11 here, they're gone. Oh!
Oh my god!
Jeez, that's lucky. So, don't want to see my hairy arm. Sorry.
Well, they already saw it. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Take them off. They're out of here. Oh, I did not expect that. There we go. The dreaded double 6.
It just shows that I can't roll. I really can't.
Well, you didn't have any control over that rolling, but
Nope.
now I'm going to keep them where they are because I think they're going to be happy to try and attack a flank. Oh, I'm sorry, Florina. The tables have turned. But anyway, we'll see what happens next. So now, this combat here. We've got my 5 attacks from my Abyssal Champion. He's pretty cool. 3+ to hit. Oh, I said he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah, wah. Only 1 hit, but 3+ to wound thanks to crushing. Oh god. He's furious, but not very efficient.
It's blind fury.
Blind fury, exactly. Don't get angry in a fight. Alright, the 8 attacks of the Flamebearers. Now, since they haven't moved through a forest anymore, they can hit on 5 instead of 6. So hopefully a few more hits. Literally 1 more hit. So I don't know if that was useful, but if they can wound, they'll be better than the Abyssal Champion, that's for sure. So 4+ to wound. 2 wounds. Knock you back up 7. Alright, so that means I need a 7 to get rid of them twice. No, they stick around. Okay. So that is the end of that. But whoa, my Abyssal Guard win the Abyssal Guard fight off. I know, disappointing your Abyssal Guard. So we're both down 1 unit. I've lost my Tortured Souls and Florina has lost her Abyssal Guard unit. So what will she do? She's got her Flamebearers sitting up here. They could throw in some damage. You've also got your Abyssal Champion. He could try and chop them up. What would you rather do?
Why don't we just charge?
I'll get rid of that. Yeah, just gonna charge right in? Yeah, why not? It might be all you need. So he'll go right in the middle. Yeah, perfect. Now, which unit will the Tortured Souls hit? The leader once again? Alright, so I'll shuffle back the Flamebearers, just so we know what's going on. There we go. And you can do the same shooting again. Repeat. But now your leader has to get up close and personal. Alright, so range phase, here we go. You've got your 8 dice. Shooting at my Flamebearers, 3+. Ooh, still pretty good. Not 3+, 4+, sorry. I don't know why I said that. No, not so good. That's okay. 2+ to wound.
Why 2+?
Remember, I'm defense 3 with these guys. They have no armor. And you're piercing 1. Hey, that's better. They all wound. So up to 4. So I'm 9-11, so all you need to do is roll a 5 twice to waver them. And then they won't be able to charge you anymore. They're dead, so roll again. 7 plus 4 is 11. They're dead.
Yay! Finally, they're doing some actions.
Yeah, the Flamebearers have been taking their time. But over time, they'll do their damage. Oh, it's just the champion now, so now it's combat. All the champions are in combat. Who's going to survive? Who do you want to do first? You probably want to try and kill my
champion.
Yeah, get rid of inspiring. So you got 9 attacks again.
All the rolling.
All the rolling.
Done. On top of the river.
4 plus. Still pretty good. And then 4 plus again. Because I'm defense 5 and you're crushing 1. Crushing my guy. Oh, not bad. That's 3. Put me up to 5. Now, roll those 2 dice. You need an 8 twice. Not twice, just once will do it. 6, 9, 11. No, I'm 13, 15. No. That's okay. Now, what about your hero? He has 5 attacks. He hits on 3s.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. But I've been doing terrible. Can you do better than me? I've been hitting like twice or once. Oh! Yeah, it's already better. 3 hits.
But 5, isn't it?
Ah, but he's crushing 1.
Oh,
He's pretty buff. So 4s.
2.
That's 2. Puts them up to 10. Again. Can you do it? It's a 10. Means you need to roll a 6 twice to kill them. To rout them. It's an 8. Roll it again. Oh, it's a 6. Perfect. They're gone. No Abyssal Guard remain on the battlefield.
Yay!
Oh.
Damage.
I've only got 1 unit left. Can my champion hold the line? Find out next episode. Okay, time for a single charge. The Flamebearers are gone, and he's just going to slam right back in. Oh, and we almost forgot, since these guys...
Oh, regen, hey.
Oh,
wait, no. Okay, sorry.
the other one, Life Leech, but same. Similar. So now you're on 5. So let's see if I can do enough damage to get rid of them, and then I can go after your Abyssal Champion. Oh, and also, since I've moved, I get to regen. So you're right. Yes, regen. So here we go. 5 up regens. Holy moly!
I think it's the way you roll. Your dice barely move.
I still shook them.
Really, they barely
But
move.
they rolled out of my hand.
Well, please rewatch your video. You'll know they barely move.
Well, they still shook. There was still a randomization.
yeah,
I wasn't choosing it. But now I'm on 1 health. Or 1 damage. Oh, well, there you go. Look at that. See? It doesn't always work out my way. 1 hit. Because I'm awful.
If you can see my face, I literally just showed the white of my eyeballs.
3 plus to wound. No wounds. There you go. See? So now
I see nothing.
You see nothing? Alright, well, now it's time for your turn. Turn 6. Options that Florina has. Flamebearers can't really do anything. They can't move close enough, so we'll forget about them. Now,
Oh, I'm sorry.
how does an individual charge? Well, the interesting thing about an individual, unlike every other unit, is he doesn't really have facings. So he can actually charge right from there. So he can see him, and what you can do is you can... So you'll turn to face, doesn't really matter, move forward, and then you get another pivot, charge in. No one else gets that many pivots while they charge, but an individual does. He's flanking, but it doesn't matter. Because he's individual, I'm individual, it doesn't matter. And I assume these guys are going right back in.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
Alright. Well, let's see if you can get rid of him. So, skipping over ranged, because there's nothing to shoot, we're going straight to combat. I assume you want to go with the... Tortured Souls first.
Yeah.
9.
Why are they 9?
Just because they're 9.
Whatever.
It's well-calibrated rules. So, 4+ to hit. Whoa, Florina's turning it up. Whoa, that's much higher than 50%. Okay, and crushing 1 means 4+ to wound. Oh, you're missing one dice.
Sorry.
Yeah. 1 more round like that. Oh, 2, 3 damage. Puts me back up to 4. And now your champion. He has 5 attacks.
No hit.
He has crushing 1 as well.
Oh, okay.
Because he's done his push-ups in hell.
So 4?
He hits on 3. So melee 3+, wounding 4+. Good. And then wounding 4+, just 1. Puts me up to 5. Alright, 2 dice. Now
What is it again?
you need an 8.
13, 15.
8 will waver me. 10 will get rid of me. 8, waver. So I'm furious. So now all I can do is countercharge, which was all I was going to do.
Aren't you inspiring? Don't I have to reroll?
Only if you got rid of me. So inspiring doesn't have to reroll when you get a waiver. With that, the end of Florina's turn, the game now ends. So we can see that it's pretty clear who's won in this made-up scenario of let's kill each other.
Made-up scenario.
No, it's definitely not something you get in the tournaments. But we can see that by Florina still having her tortured souls that have been getting their wounds back steadily over the entire game, and her Abyssal Champion and the reliable Flamebearers just sitting up on that hill and shooting, she has managed to take the game. Now,
Yay!
Congratulations, Florina! So what did you think of your first game?
I can't really keep up with all the dice. Like who has defense blah, who has attack blah. But in terms of like regeneration, pivoting, moving, those things are okay. I think it's similar to gaming in general. So maybe that's why I can remember. But in terms of like all the other dice, I can't really keep up.
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers to keep track of. And so, you got your book here, which, as when you start your first games, you'll be constantly looking at it. And then as you keep playing games, eventually you don't have to look at it so much. But no, that's understandable. Remembering the numbers is a lot. But overall, that was pretty good. Lots of exciting stuff. I didn't expect to kill Abyssal Guard. But then Florina took them off just with her Abyssal Champion. So
My sexy champion.
that's a lot of excitement. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if anyone has any questions or critique, obviously there were a few rules that we brushed over in terms of like only putting regeneration in at the end. But I didn't want to add in too much stuff in the movement phase, since in this game movement phase is definitely the not most complicated, but there's the most intricacies involved. So, but I think next time we'll have a game. We'll have proper armies. I'll take my orcs. Florina will take the demons. And we'll have a rematch and see how that goes. But for now, let me know what you guys think of this game, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye!
Bye!